Hi guys, it's Michelle here from Moonshine Tarot. I know it's been ages, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm in the process of moving at the moment, so I just wanted to give you that update. So I'm moving in about a week. I'm actually moving towns. So I'm packing up my apartment, and yeah, so there's just a whole lot of stuff going on. But I've really been missing you guys, and I really wanted to put out another video. I also just wanted to update you and let you know what was happening. So, yeah, I'm gonna apologize in advance for the video quality on this one. I'm sort of losing daylight hours here where I am at the moment, but I was really in the mood to, do a video. I really felt like I had the headspace to do it now that I've sorted out quite a few things about my move. So I'm just going to continue, I think, with the timeless love readings by Zodiac. So I started off about a month ago. I posted one for Aries and one for Leo. If you haven't checked those out, please do. So I think I'm just going to continue, get through all the other zodiac signs. These are timeless. You can watch them whenever they resonate. And then after that, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I think I'm just going to try and pop on daily and do a daily, timeless just reading for whoever it resonates with. That's kind of the cool thing about this work, is it's not really about me. I've just got to show up. I've just got to read what comes out. It's kind of like everything else is up to spirit, the universe. So I'm really just going to trust that whoever needs a message, that there's going to be something here that they're going to find and that they're going to resonate with, and kind of let God take control of that process. But yeah, I think I was really mentally just getting into a little bit of a mindset of I can't post any videos because I don't want to start my normal monthly general readings and then only be able to do some for some zodiac signs and then miss out on doing them for others, because my life's going to be a little bit up in the air for the next few weeks or so, even a couple of weeks after I move. So I don't want to start something and then cater for some zodiac signs and then have some miss them out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push ahead with the timeless love readings and make sure I've got one up for each zodiac sign. And then I think I'm just going to pop on and do a general reading. No sign specific, just timeless whenever you come by it, whoever it resonates for, just on the other days, because I really don't want to ignore the channel. I really miss reading for you guys, but yeah, I don't want to start a series that then I can't complete. Does that make sense? Anyway, rambling over, let's dive in. So we're gonna make this one for Taurus. Taurus, what's going on in your love life, people? Let's have a look. What's the energy of the recent past for Taurus love? Ooh. Completion. So there's a cycle completing. I don't think it's completed yet. I think there's a cycle that you're wanting to complete, Taurus, but it's kind of like you're waiting on some pieces of the puzzle to fall into place. I kind of feel like you feel like there's a cycle that you can't end, maybe with a current partner, or yeah, I feel like there's you want a cycle to end, and I do think it involves tidying up some loose ends, maybe some loose ends with somebody else. So where are you at currently? For the Tauruses watching, whenever they're watching, what's going on currently with Taurus? Yeah, okay. So we've got Three of Wands. So this is the energy of you're waiting for your ships to come in. And I do actually feel like this is tied to something that you want to complete. And I feel like it's also like, for some of you, you may have been in a period of stagnancy related to relationships. So fit that to your situation as it applies. For some of you, it may be that you've been in a long-term commitment for a while, and maybe the love has sort of died, the passion has sort of died. You may even be wanting to move on and free yourself from it. Because I kind of get with the Three of Wands, like you're wanting to experience something new. You know, it does actually say experiencing on this card, which is sort of an unusual interpretation for the Three of Wands. But you're wanting to experience something new. And so if you're currently in a relationship, I get the sense that you either want a completely brand new chapter with your current person, or you want to end the relationship completely and you want to experience something different on your own or potentially with someone else. Now, if this is your Taurus and you're single and you're watching this, it may be that you've been feeling like there's just been a stagnancy or a long-term kind of love drought or romance drought in your life, where you've just kind of been feeling like, because here's the thing with this Three of Wands card. This Three of Wands card always kind of trips me out because it's just such a different portrayal. It's almost like, I don't know, like it's autumn in this card. You know, the leaves are kind of red, brown, falling to the ground. It also reminds me, this card, of sort of like a forest fire. You know how like when forest fires rip through an area and then you drive by that area like years later, like everything just sort of looks burnt and petrified and stuck in time. And I sort of get that for those of you that may have been, I think there's two groups is what I'm trying to say. I think there's some of you that are in a relationship, you're wanting to get out of it, or you're wanting to have a completely different brand new beginning, potentially with someone else. And then I think there's others of you that have been single for a really long time and it's just felt like this emptiness, like maybe other areas of your life are all tickety-boo and they're going along fine, but in terms of relationships, like it just has felt like there's a drought, you know, like nothing's growing, you know what I mean? So let's see what's coming in the near future for Taurus for love. Oh. Sorry, all these other cards flew out to the side. Right, what we got here is the Knight of Swords. So I think because you've been, I get the feeling like you've been trying to be patient, you've been trying to wait for the jigsaw puzzles to fall into place, you've been patiently waiting something new to grow or just to come in. And now we've got the Knight of Swords. So this is sort of it can be a bit of an impetuous, impulsive energy. You know, it's the, I often think of it as that energy of someone that's really tired of waiting and they're just like, fine, I'm just going to screw it. I'm just going to leap in there and just charge ahead because I'm tired of like nothing happening. Whereas the King of Swords would sort of wait until, you know, all the I's have been dotted and all the T's have been crossed. You know, they're a bit more methodical. The King of Pentacles, which is a very Taurian energy, is a lot more methodical. But this, I think, is just the energy of, yeah, kind of like losing your patience and just wanting to do something hasty, to communicate hastily, just to do something, to move the energy, to change the energy, take some sort of quick action to move forward. And I get that the feeling of why you want to do this is because, like, I just feel like the playfulness has kind of left your life. Like, I just feel like the joy Yeah, just that everyday, like, joyful nature, the curiosity of life. I just feel like that's been sort of ebbing progressively. So I don't think it's like one day you were super excited and then the next day you woke up and you were just depressed and it just sort of happened overnight. I just think it's been like you were fine, you were patient, you were waiting your time, and just, gradually, you just kind of, your joy is dying off a little bit slowly. I mean, it's not anything permanent, I don't feel, at this stage anyway, but I think that you're starting to become aware of that, and that's going to make you maybe a bit more impulsive. So, let's look at what the current challenges are for you in your romantic situation, Taurus. Like, what is it that you're waiting on in terms of the pieces coming together, or what's the challenge? Like, what's holding this up? What's getting in the way? Ooh, okay. It's almost like your own mind is what's getting in the way. It's really just your own mind getting in the way. I think you were waiting to try and have this perfect plan and have everything that you could tick off in a particular order. But it's almost like, here's what it is, because we've got the Four of Cups, which in this card is sort of a card more of meditation, and sort of tuning into your intuition to move forward. So I think you've been trying to solve the challenges in this connection via logic, via like strategy, via a plan. But it's almost like in doing so, you've sort of maybe cut off your intuition a little bit. So the advice here, or the suggestion that I'm certainly seeing here, is that the reason you're not able to move forward and to get progress going is because you're actually needing to go more into your heart space, more into your emotions, more into your tap into like your higher consciousness. And it's almost like if you do that, that may give you some of the answers to these pieces that just haven't been falling into place so far. So what's the opportunity here for Taurus in their love life? Like, what new opportunities are sort of like right around you at the moment that you may not be seeing potentially? Yeah, so we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. So there's an opportunity here to let go of the exhaustion of trying to figure it out all on your own. There's an opportunity here to sort of like let go and let God, I know that's a cliched experience, but cliches are often cliches for a reading. So there's an opportunity here to, to give the heavy burden over to a higher force, to trust sort of universal intelligence that they can figure out a plan for you, and just to kind of be still, and just let some of this figure itself out. That's really the opportunity. And what's the advice? Okay, so the advice is not to let pride get in your way here. The advice also too is to not worry so much about what other people around you are thinking. So for some of you, you may have been in a relationship for a really long time and people just expect you to be in that relationship. Maybe you and your partner have put on kind of a front to the world of like, yeah, we're really happy, like everything's going well. And so people expect that of you. And so one of the things that, you might be tying your mind up in fears and worries about is like, well, how are other people going to perceive me? How are other people going to perceive my partner? If I let go of this, right? Like if I choose to leave this relationship, like what are other people going to think? So I definitely think that for some of you, that's one of the things that's really tying you up in knots and making you feel like you can't move forward even though you want to. For others of you, it might be a fear of putting yourself out there, quite honestly. Like if you are in the single Taurus camp, I think this card is like maybe you don't want to put yourself out there in the public eye. Like maybe you don't want to sign up for an online dating profile and have other people come across your photo that maybe might know you in other situations in your life. It's almost like a sense of like maybe you're ashamed to be looking for love, or you have trouble admitting that to the world. And I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of, people want love, people want companionship, people want someone to be with. For some of you, if you've got a really important job, that may be part of your fear around embarking on a new relationship or just putting yourself out there into the dating world in general. But, often if you don't really say what you want, then you're sort of blocking the ability of it to come to you. I mean, a lot of people meet their partners through friends, through family, through connections of connections, through somebody that your work colleague mentions to you, like, hey, the guy that works at the blah, blah, blah company, my mate knows him and he's a great guy and he's single and he's looking for someone and you guys have some of the same interests in common, so often like your friends and the people that you interact with on a daily basis, they can be sometimes the people that introduce you to your future partner. So if you're afraid of sort of saying like, hey, I'm looking for love, or hey, if you know of anyone that you think would be great, like I'm open to going on dates. If you're afraid to have that conversation, you're sort of cutting yourself off potentially from, people that that might actually know someone that actually would be amazing for you, So if you're single and you're trying to meet someone, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to let it be known that you are looking. If you're trying to leave a relationship and you're just worried about what people will think, you're worried about, because here's the thing, if you've been in a long-term relationship, right, like often your friend groups are quite enmeshed. Your partner's friends are your friends are your partner's friends. And, if you've been together for, say, over a decade or something like that, to then disengage and go your separate ways, you know that you're going to lose friends potentially because people will take sides. It just happens. But the thing is, I do think that not making a decision, it definitely seems to be weighing on your mind, and I think it's going to start weighing on your emotions and also potentially your physical health a little bit if you don't make a move. And certainly I see that you're going to get very impatient in the near future if you don't make a move. So, sometimes you just got to let go of the opinions of other people and just let it be what it's going to be, right? So let's pull, I think this reading is really quite clear. There's definitely two bunches of you, those that are in a relationship and want to get out, and those that have no one and feel like they've been in a dry spell and want to try and find someone. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a card for my Taurus singles and my Taurus couples. So let's start with Taurus singles. What's the card for them? Oh, we got two. So we got Kuan Yin, compassion, and we also got Bast, which is the Egyptian cat goddess. And I really am just getting kind of the same message. I really am getting that for those of you that are single, there's almost like a shame, or you feel a bit of shame about putting yourself out there, or about being seen to be looking for a partner. Or there's a sense of you don't feel like you're good enough for a partner. And look, sometimes those beliefs just come about when we've had a bit of a drought for an extended period of time, right? It's very easy to get sucked into the mindset of, well, if I was so great, then why is no one interested, right? But so the advice really for you singles is to let go of that shame and to recognize that, like, it's the message of this card is be kind to yourself, stop judging yourself, stop placing any expectations on yourself, like you should be like this, you shouldn't be like that. Just let yourself be. I mean, because Bast is the goddess of independence, right? So they just show up in the world as they are who they are. And interestingly enough, when they do that and they're not judging themselves and they're not censoring themselves and they just show up and they're like, you know what, I'm looking for love, I'm open to dating people, I'm open to meeting people that are looking for the same things I am. And when you just are who you authentically are, there's a huge amount of sex appeal that comes with that. There's a huge amount, like, that's a very attractive mental standpoint to be coming from. So part of what may have been blocking you guys, you Taurus singles, is if you've been subconsciously carrying around a belief, and like I say, it's easy to get sucked into that mindset if you've had a bit of a dry spell romantically. But if you have been harboring a little bit of a belief around, like, how embarrassing to be looking for love at my age, or how embarrassing to be looking for love as a single parent, or how, what if I'm not good enough, or what if it never happens, or, there must be something wrong with me. If you're getting caught up in any of those beliefs, like, now's the time to sever that and just be like, you know what, I am who I am, I've made mistakes, I've learnt from some of my past mistakes, I am looking for someone, I know what I want, I know what I don't want, and just put yourself out there, and I think if you do that, you are going to come across to other people as very attractive, very confident. So that's really the advice for you guys, and it's sort of the same message really as it is for the Taurus people that are coupled up and they're wanting to get out of relationships. It's just like, stop focusing on what other people are thinking, and also stop judging yourself. Right. Let's see what the advice is for Tauruses that are in a relationship currently. What is the advice for them? Yeah. I mean, we've got receptivity, which is all about intuition. And that's what I was saying here. It's like you've been trying to figure out how to get out of something by, like, having this perfect plan that you execute, boom, 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 boom. But in doing so, there's something, you're cutting off the ability to access the answers to how to solve all these pieces that do need to come together. Because I do feel like for those of you that are in a relationship currently and just trying to get out of it, there very much are practical things. There are genuinely things that are sort of holding you up. There genuinely are some practical considerations that you have to take care of before you can move forward. Like, that's not in your head. There definitely are those things. But yeah, you are almost making it a little bit more difficult for yourself perhaps than it needs to be, because there is something about you're not quite in touch with your intuition, and your intuition is really what's going to help you access the right answers that are going to allow you to move forward. There is also something here about boundaries. So for some of you, you may be finding at the moment that your energy is getting pulled in many different directions as well. Like, you may have a lot on at work, you may have a lot of people that are asking you for favors. Your partner even may be making a lot of demands of you, or if you have already, like, I don't know, initiated some sort of like settlement process, like dividing up property, if this applies to you, and you're the person that you're with is trying to make all these demands, and yeah, there's something about the demands of others and the fact that your time and energy is getting a bit scattered, that I also think is creating some delays here for you. So just be mindful of that. Just think about that. Think about how you can honor your own needs first and sort of fill up your own tank. Because as you do that, you're going to be much more able to access your own intuition, and that's really where you're going to find the answers to move forward in whatever way it is that you want to move forward. So that is a little bit vague, but I do think the ins and outs of the details will be slightly different for each of you. So anyway, take care. Oh my gosh, it's so great to read for you guys again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient. I really do appreciate your support of the channel, and we'll catch up again soon. Okay, bye.